Alafia, habari gani, peace and blessings. Hatapu, you're tuned into the African Ancestral Manuscript, the Jelibad channel, storytelling channel, remembering our ancestors in order for them to provide insights in order for us to move forward. We've brought up a few topics relating to stress and relating to the Ankh Ma'at of Agab and the veganism. We are going to go on with some stories come April in a couple of days. We're going to tell some ancestral tales once again. Today we're going to tell a story about Eshu Elegba, which makes sense because we are in the Sebek Eshu Elegba cycle. Sebek is the equivalent of Eshu and Elegba in the Kemetic Neteru system, the Pot Neteru. Elegba is in the system of the Orishas, the Ifa, and Elegba is in the Ifa tradition, Elegba Eshu, and it's Sebek Anubis in the tradition of the Metu Neter. So we're going to get into a tale. Before we get into that, I'd like to say once more, peace and blessings for tuning in. Couple of things I'd like to promote. My new book, Broken Coconuts in Our Grandmother's Grave. It's available anywhere books are sold, from Amazon to Walmart, as well as to Barnes & Nobles, the Book Depository. Pick it up. It is worth the read. It's full of African wisdom, sciences, and great things to uplift your mind and to read to your children from the African perspective. When the lions tell the tale, remember, until the lions tell the tale, the tales of the hunter is going to favorize the hunter. This book, the lion is definitely telling the tale. The book we get our stories from is the African Ancestral Manuscript. That's my last book before Broken Coconuts. It's available as well on Amazon, and it's going to be republished and rejigged and made available probably next year sometime. So you can have color pictures inside and everything else. Right now we have pictures, but they're black and white, right? But we are going to move into a more enhanced version of this book coming soon. So you can still pick it up in the meanwhile. Last video, we talked about stress and how the only thing you don't need to worry about stress, and of course don't need to stress about stress. I recommended this book, Stress Free for Life, by Rao Nefer I, who's a great scholar, teacher, scribe, sage, and leader of the Aseraset Society, Global Society of Ancient Kemetic Wisdom. Okay, so a couple of books I'm going to dwell with today. Book which I definitely like to recommend is Imhotep, the African architect of the cosmos. Imhotep was the first polymath. His story is going to be in one of our videos sometime soon. But he was the first doctor. Actually, when you take your Hippocratic oath, you swear by him. He was known as the god of medicine, one of the first architects, one of the first astronomists, astrologists, cosmologists, politicians, prime minister for King Djoser, and the erector of the Step Pyramid of Djoser. His story is going to be tough when I tell it, but it will be later on. Okay, today the story I'm going to tell is out of African mythology. It's actually this book right here by Jim Barrow, but it's an ancient tale which has been told over and over again. So we give props to Jim for putting it in the book, but this is a tale from the Ifa tradition, and this is the story of how Eshu Elegba, Eshu, who's the trickster, Anansi Sebek, that faculty of the intellect that compartments things into sections and fails to interrelate them accordingly in a complementary fashion, but separates them, thinking it has the whole when it only has the piece of the puzzle and doesn't put the whole puzzle together. So this story is how Eshu Elegba is so good at what he does, the trickster, the mind, that he's even able to trick Obatala. Obatala, who represents Oser, the God consciousness within us, or the divinity. How he is so tricky that even the divine within us can be fooled. So Il, ow. One day, Obatala binde. Obatala was the wise one, the Neteru, the god of the white cloth. Okay, he was like Oser, the faculty within our spirit that governs the place in which our divinity takes residence in order for us to elevate ourselves and to manifest the right things in our lives. So Obatala inhabited the heavens, and his son Shango was on earth. Okay, Shango was down on earth, and Obatala hadn't seen Shango in a while. Shango was either a son or his nephew, whichever one you want to call it. So Obatala said to himself, well, I need to go, check out Shango, see what's going on, see if he needs some support. So I need to come down from the heavens and go to see him. Now, Obatala is the god of the white cloth, so Obatala is always dressed in immaculate white. White, complete head to toe. There can't be a scratch. There can't be a speck of dirt. He doesn't flex like that. He flexes in that perfect white attire, which represents death and death to the things of the world as well. That's what that represents. The virgin white. So Obatala is dressed in white, and he's making his way down the road, down from the heavens, to the earth, to come and meet with Shango on Shango's kingdom. And along the way, he's going and he sees Eshu Elegba. And Eshu Elegba is carrying a heavy pail of oil. Eshu Elegba is, oh my, the oil's so heavy. I can't lift it. What can I do? Oh, please, old man, please, sir, please help me. So Eshu Elegba comes up to Oser or to Obatala in need of assistance. He says, oh, please, Obatala, I know you can help me. Please help me, please. Obatala, the nature of Obatala is he can only do what's right. And doing what's right is to help people who are suffering. He sees Elegba Eshu suffering to lift that oil. It was a pail of palm oil. So he helps him to lift that oil, and he takes it with him. And they're about to put it where Eshu, on top of a mound where Eshu wants to put it. And all of a sudden, drip, 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 drop. Oh no. What happened? The drops of oil of palm oil fell on Obatala's crisp, pristine white attire. His attire is all oily and disgusting, and it's no longer clean. It's no longer the perfect white which Obatala is, the god of the white cloth. Obatala says to himself, this can't do. This not can't be so, I need to go back. I need to go back to heaven. Let go back, boo. People can't see me picking Shango a dirty so. He can't do it. He can't take that. So Obatala makes his way up all the way back to the heavens. He takes off the white garment like the cloud, which is soiled in the oil, and he totally destroys it. He burns it to the ground. He doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to hear or see anything about it anymore. He dishes it. He dash it out. He gets a new pristine white cloth, puts it on, and says, now I'm ready. Okay, let me go see Shango. Let me go assist him with all that he needs assistance with. So he's making his way down from heaven again, down from the clouds, and he gets to the crossroads, and guess who he sees at the crossroads again? You guessed it. He sees our good friend, Eshu Elegba, and Eshu is carrying another pail, let's say of palm oil this time, a heavy pail. He's like, oh, this pail so heavy, it gonna prop my back. Oh, old man Obatala, please, a big boo, you not gonna help me? Obatala is like, well, my nature is such that I cannot do what's evil. I got to do what's right. So I have to help this poor struggling Eshu Elegba. So Obatala once again goes to help Elegba Eshu. They lift up the pail of olive oil together. And they reach the mount again, and they're about to put it on the mount, and drip, 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 drip. That's what happens. You guessed it. Once again, the oil has dropped on Obatala's pristine white cloth, making him look like some type of a dirty old man. So Obatala says to himself, man, I'm the god of the white cloth. Everything I wear must be pristine and crisp and white. The whitest of white you can ever imagine. There's no way I can go down to Shango's looking like a bum. So Obatala, once again, he says, oh man, I need to go back. I need to go back to heaven. I need to go back to the skies, where I'm coming from, where I'm ruling, where I'm in peace. And I need to change. So he goes Makes this long walk back home. A long walk, just like Jill Scott. And then he gets to the heavens. Once again, he dashes off the dirty white oily cloth. He crumples it. He burns it. He puts it he disperses it all over the universe. And he says to himself, okay, let me get another cloud, another pristine white cloud. Maybe a cumulus cloud, same theme as Long Walk by Jill Scott. Props to her. So he puts on this nice pristine white cloth again, and he makes his way. That's the sound of his feet, by the way. Going down to see, of course, Shango, who's Hebrew. And once again, he comes to a crossroads. And at the crossroads, guess who he sees again? You got it, children. You got it, children and adults. He sees Eshu Elekba. Elekba is there at the crossroads. And he has another pail of oil. This time, let's say, Eshu Elekba, he's gone into flaxseed oil. So he's carrying some flaxseed oil, and he's like, oh my God, oh Batala, oh God, help me, oh Batala, bo, come on, you get for help me, bo. A big, this thing, Ebi, don't come on, Ebi. He's suffering, and obviously Obatala sees it. Obatala cannot do wrong. He's bound by his angelic energy frequency to do what's right, what's ma'at, what's ajichakalia, what's true. So he goes, says, okay, Eshu Elekba, I see you there. Let me give you a hand. Let's take this flaxseed oil and put it on the mound, a different mound. So he's carrying it, heavy. They're managing, then they manage small for Tika. Then they put up on top the mound back, top of the mound, and all of a sudden, drip, drop. Y'all guessed it. Once again, Obatala has been covered in oil. Drops of oil. You know how oil spreads everywhere. So he's like, this time Obatala says to himself, I'm an old man. I've been living forever, for eternity. I can't be going back all the time to the clouds and back. I'm tired. So I might as well, this one time, I might as well just go see Shango. I'll explain everything to him. Everything will be okay. So Obatala, this time, instead of going back to the heavens to get his new white cloth, immaculate, he goes in the tarnished, oily, kind of dirty looking white, beigey type stuff that he's wearing. And he's making his way down to Shango's kingdom. He's walking. Then all of a sudden, he gets to a stable near the kingdom, and the horses are escaping. Wild horses. You know how important horses are to virility and to manhood in African society. The more stallions you have, the more of a man you are. So Shango has a whole bunch of horses, and they're all running away from the stable. The stable has been broken into. Eshu opened the door of the stable. That's what Eshu did. Eshu sneaked around. That's what Obatala was making his way. Opened the door of the stable, and the horses are running away. So Obatala says to himself, man, I need to catch this horse. Especially this is one of Shango's favorite horses. So he runs, he catches the horse, he's just about to tame it and to wrestle it and to ride it back to the stable. And then one of Shango's henchmen sees him. He's like, man, what's that dirty old man doing, stealing Shango's horses? Does he know what he's doing, Shango's horses? So the man, the henchman of Shango, the bolo, big, buff guy, he comes, he grabs Obatala, beats him up, punches him, boom, boom, boom. You dirty old man, how dare you take Shango's horse, try to steal it? Thievery is punished with punches and all types of harm to your bodies. So he punches him, knocks him over, knocks him down. He says, okay, you dirty old man, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to put you in the deepest, darkest cave and dungeon which we have in our empire, imprison you because you are a criminal. So he mistreats Obatala. He beats him up. Then he tosses him like a recluse in a distant dungeon in the kingdom where they put the criminals, the worst criminals. So Obatala is put away, and all of a sudden, over the course of time, Shango's kingdom, Shango's land, starts suffering numerous calamities, earthquakes, famine, locusts, plagues, even COVID, COVID-20, COVID-19. All types of things are happening. Tsunami, there's not even a water there, but there's a tsunami comes out of nowhere. You know, there's all types of things going on. There's a volcano that erupts. And Shango is like, man, all these things happening, all these calamities. What is going on? What have we done to get to all these calamities on my kingdom? So he says to himself, okay, you know what? I need to go see the wise sage Orunmila. He's going to tell me, I'm going to consult him, and he's going to tell me what exactly is happening. Why are we going through such suffering? You know, suffering not good, you know. Just like Babylon days. So he goes to see the wise old Orunmila, who has a cane. Orunmila is like, yes, Shango, thank you for consulting me and humbling yourself to my wisdom. Okay, so I see. You came to me to see why there's so many calamities in the land of Shango. I mean, the thunder and the lightning is not enough alone because you command the thunder and the lightning, but all the plagues, all the earthquakes, the tsunami, the COVID, all that's going on. And the reason why is because there's a righteous person who's unjustly imprisoned in your land. And until that righteous person is freed, the calamities will never cease. Never. Niente. They will never stop. Shango's like, really? I thought I was pretty just. You know, I attend to the justice in my kingdom myself. I go ride on my horse, my favorite horse, and I seek counsel and I talk to the people and I resolve all their differences justly. And Orunmila is like, there is somebody unjustly imprisoned in your land. And until that person is freed, calamities will be unceasable. So Shango says, okay, I'm going to search. So he searches far and wide all over his land. He goes to the extremities of his land, as big as the ancient kingdom of Mali. And he researches and looks in every nook and cranny. Then he finally goes to the jail and dungeon where they keep the worst criminals. And in the corner of the jail or the dungeon, in a little space, he sees sitting all crumpled up his uncle Obatala. He recognizes him immediately because Obatala is Obatala. He knows him. Obatala is the one who has guided him to his great wisdom and kingdom. So he's like, man, Obatala, is that you? Who the hell put you in this dungeon? Who the hell put you in this dungeon? Let me find that person so that they can be suffer the wrath of Shango. I'll free you immediately. So he sees him, he takes him out of the dungeon, he frees him immediately, and he tells him that. Obatala is like, no, don't worry about that person. They thought they were doing what's right. The important thing is that you found me, and now we are free, and now we can do what we need to do. So Shango frees up Obatala. Obatala is able to share with Shango, and the land of Shango overcomes all the calamities and returns to harmony and peace and balance. However, they did have to go through those calamities because a just person was unjustly imprisoned for unjust reasons in their empire, the empire of Shango. Stoika stoiku. He left by you. Now that is the story. The essence of the story is that Eshu Elegba Anansi Sebek Anubis is so good at concealing things and hiding, and such of a trickster that he can even trick God Almighty. You need to be very mindful of that trickster within your mind, because he closes up the way to truth. And lots of times, if you're not prepared, even your good intentions can deviate because of those tricks within your mind. That's why it's very important to seek wisdom from the oracles. Seek wisdom for meditation, because your mind sometimes will even trick your divinity within. We're in the Sebek cycle. Let's meditate on this story. Let's meditate, because Obatala, Eshu Elekba, Shango are all entities, are all angelic forces that are within our spirit to manifest. Right? And the faculty of Elekba Eshu is very smart. Il est très rusé. And he has that ability like Rabbit back in the days, Bra Spider, to create results and trickery that leads you to an illusion and perceptions which are going to imprison you in your lower self. Once again, that was the story of how Eshu, Elegba, is so good that he can even trick the divinity. He's so experienced, Eshu, that faculty within your spirit, that even God needs to be careful not to be tricked by him. That's what Elegba does, and we are in that cycle. Beware of not being tricked by your conditions, ideas, and beliefs, and don't let them lead you to be imprisoned in a densest manifestation of your being, which is not who you truly are. Ashe. Hope you enjoyed that story. We will be back with more. Have a peaceful, blissful evening. Lala salama, keru nefer, bonne nuit, udabo, sleep tight, and don't let Eshu trick you anymore tonight. Hetapu.